Good evening, fuckers. We are back again with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. I think we're up to 25 now with these. This one is a request from Tower Bridge 04, and the only thing he actually requested was this particular journey. So we are using the East Coast main line, London to Peterborough route. And the journey that he wanted to see was London King's Cross to Welwyn Garden City. Now it's a relatively short route. I don't think it's even 25 miles. So what I'll do is bung in a couple of extra stops. If it sends us via Alexandra Palace, which I'm pretty sure it will, we'll stop at that station there. And we'll also stop at Stevenage. Yeah, that's surely on the way. So yeah, we'll have a couple of stops on the way. So as far as it's going to be taking place in the summer. We're going to have clear weather, and it will be starting at 10 AM. Not that that makes a great deal of difference. And for the train, he gave me free rein with this, so I have gone with the Class 67 locomotive. If I have choice of train, I will nearly always choose locomotives over multiple units. I have more nostalgia for locomotives than I do multiple units. It's not that I don't like multiple units. They're great to drive in the game. I haven't found one yet that I don't like. I just prefer locos. It's as simple as that. Now, this particular Class 67 is a bit special. It is the Diamond Jubilee livery. And this one is the Royal Train. So in one of these coaches we're going to have Charlie himself in there. So we'll be delighted that he's got me driving him. But anyway, let's get this up and running. So here we are in the Class 67. So I do like the 67. It's a loco that it doesn't get an awful lot of like praise or anything. I think it's much better than a lot of people seem to feel about it. They seem almost a bit dismissive of it. So look, here we have all our various coaches, all with the blinds and curtains well and truly closed. But somewhere in there is the king himself, apparently. So let's get the lights sorted out. That did not take long. So the journey is actually even shorter than I thought. So it's 20.25 miles. So yeah, we'll make those 2 additional stops. Have a look around. I do like the interior of this. I like everything about the 67. I think it's a great one. Diesel electric, so yeah, we got plenty of like electrical gadgetry, even though we are not taking power from the overhead lines available to us. Anyway, let's set things up. There we go. Right, off we go. So yeah, 15 mph speed limit as we leave King's Cross. All pretty much standard for when we're leaving any of the London terminuses. I was about to say major London terminuses, but yeah, it applies to all of them. And well, if we take the length of the train into consideration, then well, we'll be able to accelerate up to 45 even before we've left the gasworks tunnel. This is one of those sections that, well, the tunnel itself is longer than you think it is. So we're now on uphill 1 in 107 section, which is why our speed was coming down an awful lot faster than I thought it would. Okay, we're almost into the 45 mph section, and now we are in here, so away we go. Lose speed quite that much, but we are in a 1 in 60, so I guess yeah, probably not the best place to reduce power quite so much. So leveled out here, we can pretty much coast for a while. In fact, we've got to turn power right off. But we are fast approaching 55 mph section. There we go. Someone I'm sure can tell us what that sports stadium there is. I'm not entirely sure. It does look a bit like the Olympic Stadium, but I don't think it is. So Finsbury Park station in less than half a mile, and we are less than 1.5 miles from Haringey station, and I was not paying attention to the speedo. This train does really accelerate a hell of a lot faster than you expect every single time I use it. I think I can get away with, you know, not watching the speedo for a little bit, and it always, yeah, makes me regret that. So here we are through Finsbury Park. And next stop's at Haringey in just less than 3/4 of a mile. Get some of our speed back. We are approaching a 60 mph section. In fact, we are now in it. Here we are through Haringey station. And we are very quickly approaching Hornsey station, and after that will be our first stop at Alexandra Palace. Absolute fucking sea of electrical pylons and overhead cables, because we're not using any of them. So that was Hornsey station. I think we are going to need to begin to brake. The braking system of the 67 is a little bit convoluted, although on this Royal Train version it has been simplified quite a bit. The braking system of the standard 67 is actually very similar to that of the 68 and the 58 for that matter. The difference is that unlike the 68, with this one you don't keep accidentally setting off the emergency brakes every time you try and brake any amount. With a 68, yeah, you've only got to look at the brakes, and yeah, you're going into emergency braking mode. Right. We will not be letting passengers on or off, because, yeah, I can certainly assume quite safely that old King Charles is not going to be wanting to get off at the Alley Pally. Well, not unless he wants to go and watch the darts, I suppose. But we're here in the summer, so it's the wrong time of year for that. Okay. I was hoping we'd actually be able to see the Alexandra Palace itself, but it would appear not. Yeah, the 67 is a bit slow to get moving from standstill, rather like the 57 from a couple of videos back. And we are on a uphill section. It's 1 in 199, so it's not like massive. Anyway, go up to 60 mph, and then it won't be long before we can then accelerating further to 75. The next station is New Southgate, but we are not stopping there. We may, no we won't be able to, I was going to say we may be able to go straight to 75. Oh, that was close. We were just about able to do it. Now, I'm not sure what the top speed of the Class 67 is, but it's got to be 100. So we can pretty much coast as we go through New Southgate Station. There we go. Not the most wonderfully scenic place. So next station is Oakley Park. Now we're on uphill slope as we approach this station, but it's not hugely steep. I say that, it's now got, it was briefly a 1 in 93. That's steep enough. After Oakley Park, next station, which is less than 1.5 miles away, New Barnet. Something you come home with every time you visit the hairdressers. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, I'm the one who said it, and I think that as well. Alright, we've dropped 5 mph, so let's get that back. Oakley Station was pretty forgettable. New Barnet is not going to be much better. So, yeah, that was New Barnet. Next station, which is less than 1.5 miles away, is Hadley Wood. We are 11 miles from Welwyn Garden City. So at Hadley Wood Station, more or less as soon as we leave this tunnel. There we go. Yeah, really not much of it. Let's get some of our speed back. Next station is Potter's Bar, 1.5 miles from here. Still pretty much in North London. I think Potter's Bar here is pretty much the boundary, though. From here we are now sort of into Hertfordshire. Actually, is it Hertfordshire or is it Cambridgeshire we go into? No, it is Hertfordshire. I think Cambridgeshire actually has a border with London. So we have a speed limit reduction coming up in just over 1.5 miles to 55 mph. And that is just before Brookman's Park station. But then once we pass Brookman's Park, we can then go back up to 75. Now, Welwyn Garden City is now just 7 miles away. So the next station after Brookman's Park is Welwyn Green. That's only 1.5 miles from where we are. So it's barely a mile along the line from Brookman's Park, which we are still approaching. Here is Brookman's Park station. Yeah, not memorable in the slightest. Now Welwyn Green we can go straight through at full speed, so I think we should do exactly that. Here we go. So that is Welwyn Green. Again, not a particularly memorable locale. It does look like we're very much into the Greenbelt area. Well, not if you look this side of the track, but certainly that side. Now it looks like, unless Stevenage is more or less right on top of Welwyn Garden City, but it looks like we are not going to be passing through there. Oh, okay, right, we've got Hatfield here. Stevenage and Hatfield are right on top of each other, so we'll stop there and treat that as the Stevenage stop. So yeah, we'll just continue coasting. Start braking at about 3/4 of a mile. That's a little closer than that. I am, as always, braking way too hard, way too early. There we are at Hatfield. Again, we won't be letting passengers on or off. Not a wonderfully... Actually, Hatfield is... it's not a wonderfully scenic locale. If it's what I'm thinking, it's a very snobby locale, but then it's in Hertfordshire, so yeah, of course it is. All of Hertfordshire is fucking snobby. So, Welwyn Garden City being 2.5 miles away, it is surely the next and final stop of this run. Okay, so we can just coast from here. Welwyn Garden City is 1.5 miles. We are on a 1 in 200 uphill section, but it's slowing us down is not a problem at all. In fact, if anything, it's what we could do with. Start to bring our speed down a bit more. It would be, yeah, after our final stop is where we have a section where we could do 115. I'm sure this train could do 115 mph, no problem. I dare say its operating speed is probably about 90 to 95, but yeah, I think 115 is well within its capabilities. yellow signal up ahead. Once the train eventually stops, the brakes are a bit sluggish here. Oh, there we are. I think I have slightly overshot the, yeah. But the passengers haven't. The king is, yeah, not having to worry about the train overshooting the mark. So here is Welwyn Garden City. We'll ignore this bit that looks like it's the outside of fucking Pentonville prison or something. But there we go. Yeah, quite a short one, that. But nevertheless, a decent run, and yeah, so I do really like the Class 67s. I can say with absolute certainty that this is not the only time that a Class 67 is going to be appearing in these videos. But it has finally shown up in its first one, so and I think I still fucked up occasionally with a couple of speeding errors. Oh, one, okay. So that's it. Yeah, King's Cross to Welwyn Garden City. So not a particularly long route, but it has its scenic moments for sure. Shame that couldn't see the Alexandra Palace from that stop. I probably could have if I'd known which direction to look in. But there we go. So if you have a request, whether it's a particular loco, a particular route, or both, then click on the link in the description. Have a look at the video which goes through all of the locos and all of the routes that I have to see if the one you want to see is among them. There is also an update pinned comment showing routes and locos that were not mentioned in the video because I didn't have them at the time. And yeah, bung your request in the comments there and we'll get it done, just like this one was. So we'll now see you at the next one.